You feel okay or you feel sick?
I feel-
Is feeling sick.
I feel okay.
We're okay. So which
The
way do you go? Those who argue
University
that
of
the
Rand Schools of
socialist-
Businesses. This is where to store treat themselves politely during the anniversary in the cities.
I would
There's
love
new
conservatives over
book.
65 say, I don't believe in a socialist government and simply refuse to accept Medicare. No, thank you. A gay tribal
When
not a chance. Well, we're moving in that direction. And keep in mind, we are one of two industrialized nations on the planet that doesn't have a socialist single-payer kind of system. I mean, obviously those in favor of it are not calling it socialist, not calling it a socialistic approach. So it's us in South Africa, and that's it. All the rest of them have universal health care. And in fact, a lot of countries that are not first world countries have a type of, some type of universal Medicare kind of system across the board. And then there are, for example, another one, we don't have a pension plan very much that's mandated by the government. Nothing is mandated. You know which country, this is just a quick sidebar, you know which country has one of the best pension plans in the world, and this is mandated by the government, and it's funded in part by the government, as well as businesses? Chile. Chile just happens to have this phenomenal pension plan. So we're at the bottom of the heap, and if you're looking at it, long term it makes sense, but who the hell looks at long term? And here's the way I look at it. I think everybody should have health care. And as much as I hate taxes, I think a lot of taxes are a waste of time, and California in particular just pisses away money like crazy. This one I think is different. And in the end, it is only money. Well, as tough as it is, that's the wisdom. It's only money.
Everybody's
hit hard. But across the board, inflation hits people hard. Unemployment hits people hard. Businesses shutting down because of international competition.
University of Rand.
And this one, there is the silver
University of Rand
lining.
Schools of Business.
And that is, for those of you that can't afford co-pays or get stuck with that medical bill of $80,000, you know what? You don't have to pay it. Government picks it up. Well, actually, you pick it. Those of us who, make more than, well, I'm not going to admit, $150,000. Let's say my next day is March. Coming up, the vaccine mandate. And the Supreme Court today is hearing oral arguments, and this is such an insanely important case. It goes far beyond just the mandate and the constitutionality. I'll pick that up when we come back. KFI AM 640. Let's check in with Jennifer.
More than 800 of LA's first responders are currently off the job because of COVID infections or exposure. That includes more than 500 LAPD officers and about 300 LA Fire Department employees. Millions of people on the East Coast are getting ready for more serious winter weather. The first bomb cyclone of the year is expected to bring snow, heavy wind, and rain to the region today. And Socal will be home to the first electric fire trucks in operation in North America. LA will get the first and plans to unveil it at a fire station in Hollywood later this year. Rancho Cucamonga will debut its electric fire truck in late 2023. We've got you right on the 134 with VKFI in the sky. Next.
This is Leland Smith, owner of Service Champion Plumbing, Heating, and AC, and I want you to know that we have the world's friendliest technicians. Here's how we do it. We only hire friendly people. It's the very first thing you look for during an interview. If they're not friendly, it's a deal breaker. We think we're checking their experience and technical abilities, but we're really seeing if they smile or not. We're checking to see if they're polite, approachable, outgoing, and kind. And if they are, and only if they are, then you take a look at their technical abilities. But if they're grumpy and don't smile or act polite, no job. The result is an entire team of over 200 of the world's friendliest technicians. Call and see for yourself. Our precision tune-up and professional cleaning is just $88. Call Service Champions at 833-777-7777 or find us online at servicechampions.com.
We're looking at your ride on the 134.
All right, we're going to start with a little good news, so hang in there with me. The 134 now, Pasadena right over to Toluca Lake. Jennifer, we just passed over your head. It's in pretty good shape, really. East and west, there's no problem at all. Now, here's the big problem of the moment. This can make you late. Listen up. Driving through Long Beach, South 405, all lanes are shut down south of Lakewood. Overturned bridge loaded with fuel is going to be there forever. Alternatives, they're not easy, but here's what you got to do. East 91 to the South 605 to the South 405. Eastbound Willow, that still works, over to the South 605. Again, that will lead you to the South 405. And finally, coming out of Long Beach, eastbound 7, that will get you directly to either the 405 or the 22. Northbound, all lanes are open, but it is indeed a crawl. Everybody's looking from the 605. If you're in an accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com, just for AFI in the sky.
Okay, my 2021 resolution was to lose 20 pounds. Well, only 30 to go. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morocco. Number 5.
Play all the time. With a little wall of big screens at sidelines, the college or pro, there's only one place to go. That's Morocco.
Number 4.
David Spain Live January 14th. Get your tickets now.
3.
Party Pit Fridays. All players at your table could win up to $100 in promo chips from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Now that's the party.
And the number 2.
Cozy Gift Giveaway. Get 2 fluffy pillows when you earn 500 points off your reward card, the 10th or the 11th.
And the number 1 reason.
We don't mess with the recipes at Wahlburgers. Mark, Danny, and Chef Paul won't stand for it. It's a family business.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Morongo. Good times.
NeoU is my new favorite fitness app, and at $3.99 a month, I can't believe everything I get. Mealtime coaching, daily live workouts where I can see my friends, plus thousands of on-demand classes like strength, boot camp, yoga, and more. I'm obsessed with NeoU's interactive workouts where my instructors can see and talk to me. And when you sign up for a 60-day free trial by January 31st, you'll pay just $3.99 a month. Sign up now at neoufitness.com. That's neoufitness.com.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. A good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed effortlessly adjusts in response to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save up to $1,000 on Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed. Plus special financing and payment. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details. As parents, we've done everything we can to keep our kids safe, happy, and healthy during this pandemic. From finding the best face masks to making sure their hands are clean. And now we have the best tool to help keep them even safer. The most important thing we can do is vaccinate our kids to protect them against COVID-19. Vaccines have been proven safe and effective for children 5 and up. Talk to your child's doctor or visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccine near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health. As the experts in transmissions for over 50 years, there's nothing at AMCO we haven't heard. When I hit the ground, push the bell. And nothing we can't fix. It's going from transmissions to brakes and everything in between. No credit? Finance your repair at AMCO. Exclusions apply and not be compatible with any other offer. Lifetime offer participating centers only. People who know go to AMCO. AAMCO.
Looking for a good investment? Want to reduce uncertainty, financial risk, and hedge inflation? Here are 8 reasons to consider NRIA's Prime Real Estate Development Fund. Steady monthly cash flow payouts with double-digit targeted returns. Solid, affordable, high-demand home and apartment assets back you. New construction built where housing is badly needed and demand booming. Substantial properties already built and selling right now supporting you. Short and long-term strategies with steady cash flow and appreciation anticipated. An industry leader with a 15-year track record of 3 million square feet built and a pipeline of $1.7 billion of new property in progress. Hedge against inflation and receive steady cash flow. Start your due diligence at NRIA.net or call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only by the NRIA Private Placement Unread. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at NRIA.net.
I'm Stephen Rinella, host of the Meat Eater podcast and the Netflix original series Mutant. As a hunter and wildlife enthusiast, the question comes up, how can you justify killing and eating animals that you love and protect? Well, that's part of what we wrangle with on the Meat Eater podcast, along with broader and often funnier discussions about living an outdoor life in the modern world. We insist on sharing challenging opinions to inspire thought and action. So listen to the Meat Eater podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. The state has extended our mask mandate. We all need to now wear not just our fun masks.
The problem with this is most Americans are just going to wear their cat masks.
I can from right here wear a mask and sit at home and not a drop gets on me. Danny and Saturday, 6 a.m.
What a great visual.
On KFI. Good morning, everyone. Handle here in the morning crew. Friday morning, January 7th. The FDA is warning all of us about fake COVID tests. All sorts of standards are coming out. And it looks like the Super Bowl is still going to be played at SoFi. So, all right, good news for us. I mean, not that you're ever going to get into the Super Bowl or I'm going to ever get into the Super Bowl. And by the way, if you are able to buy a ticket, what is it, $4,000 in a nosebleed section for the game? But the economic value of the Super Bowl to any city is astronomical, actually. The Supreme Court today is hearing oral arguments about the vaccine mandate, the presidential mandate. And there are actually two cases that are being heard, and they are critically important because actually the attack on those mandates is not does the president have the right to in fact go forward with it and mandate vaccines. It goes so beyond that because it is the constitutionality of Congress. It's more about Congress than anything else, not President Biden. And the question is Congress exceeding its authority by allowing the president? And we're not talking just to mandate the vaccine, allowing the executive branch to do everything that it does. And just a quick list of what executive branch decisions are made in the regulations. Okay? The rules and regulations affecting the stock market, consumer product safety, trafficking and use of firearms, environmental protections, workplace discrimination, agriculture, aviation, radio and TV, financial institutions, federal elections, gas and electricity, pricing and regulation, maintenance and the building of highways, import-export, the drugs, veterinary and human drugs, and even the licensing and the inspection of nuclear power plants. And that is a tiny number of issues that are involved. And here is the question. Congress is responsible for legislation. And in this case, it's the federal government, the executive branch, that in fact sets up the various cabinet positions and literally regulates everything in the United States. And the judges, and a couple of them have already said that they believe in the concept Congress doesn't have a right to do that under the Constitution. Which means if they go that way, it is complete and total deregulation. Congress now has to step in and establish its own agency. And it doesn't have the expertise, it doesn't have the people. I mean, we've got a federal bureaucracy, and not in a negative way. We're just talking about running the country. We have a federal bureaucracy that took decades, if not over 100 years to establish. The FDA, for example, and the control of the foods and drugs in this country, the executive branch. It's under Joe Biden. And the argument is that Congress exceeded its constitutional authority to even grant the president the right to do it all. They had to keep it to themselves. That's what the justices are going to hear. The vaccine part of it is the smallest, tiniest little part. And it can go one of a couple ways. The president does have the authority to do it under Article 2. However, the other side of it is the president does not have the authority to do this. Why? Because of the way it is written. Congress is given the not only right, but the duty under its legislative powers to basically to do what it wants. And in this case, it was allowed year after year after year more presidential power. So the president probably has the greatest power, much more so than a president being in the past. So legislative powers are given to Congress. Here's the problem. How do you define legislative powers? It's not defined. Then you have executive power under Article 2. How's that defined? Pretty loose. That's what makes the Constitution such an interesting document. It's either a living document, which means that out of the Constitution, the laws can actually be interpreted broadly. Or, as the originalists would say, and this is Justice Scalia, you just look at the Constitution. That's it. And it's not on the four corners of the page, the legal term, which means all you can do is look at the document itself, the four corners, and within that document. Then you have a big, big issue. And of course, the Supreme Court, I don't know which way it's going to go. The establishment of Medicare, which was done in establishing Medicare as part of literally the Occupational Safety and Health Act, because it deals with the health of Americans. And that's under Title III, Title IX of the Social Security Act, which the President instituted. And we're talking about President Johnson in 1965, which establishes, of course, medical care for everybody over 65 and Social Security and all of that. I mean, it's going to be an interesting case. And be prepared if the Supreme Court goes by way of the decision or decides that Congress did not have the power to give the president the power to do what he does. And now it's because of the vaccine. That's what's bringing it up, the mandate. Man, you're going to see America change in a big, big way. One of the sidebar stories about the pandemic, I like doing those because, as I've said, we haven't even begun to understand how the pandemic will affect us. That's coming up. KFI AM 640, and let's check in with Jennifer Jones, please.
Well, the first black man to win an Oscar has died. Sidney Poitier made history in 1964 for his starring role in Lilies of the Field. He also had memorable performances in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, In the Heat of the Night, and To Sir with Love. Poitier was 94. News is brought to you by Mike Diamond, the Smell Good Plumber. The LA County Fire Department is mourning the loss of one of its firefighters who was overcome while working to put out a house fire in Rancho Palos Verdes. Jonathan Flagler was pulled from a burning building by a fellow firefighter early yesterday morning. Flagler is survived by his wife and two teenage sons. Federal officials are keeping an eye on a cruise ship docked in San Francisco after a dozen vaccinated people on board tested positive for COVID-19. The CDC says the affected passengers are either asymptomatic or experiencing mild symptoms. San Francisco is asking cruise ship operators to test passengers who have not received their second COVID vaccine or booster shots before letting them come ashore. Police in Las Vegas have arrested a guy after they found a severed head in the back of a stolen truck. Police followed the man to a garage where they saw him get out and get into a second truck. During a search, they found a foul odor coming from a plastic bag. The bag contained a man's head. Cops also found coolers containing the rest of the victim's body parts. There are no classes in Chicago's public schools for the third day in a row. The Chicago Teachers Union wants remote learning until there's an agreement or the latest COVID-19 surge subsides. District leaders say remote instruction has damaged the well-being of the students. Two men in Nebraska have extended their family very quickly. They took home a DNA test and found they have 18 half-siblings they never knew about. The brothers and sisters came from the men's biological father, a sperm donor. They say the man had not previously known they were conceived that way. One of the guys said he was able to track down some of his new relatives who live in several states and has gotten responses back. And actress Jennifer Garner has been named Woman of the Year by Harvard University's Hasty Pudding Theatricals. She'll be honored next month for her career as well as for a record of philanthropy and entrepreneurship. Also, this year's Man of the Year is Jason Bateman. We've got your drive on the 710.
All right, good morning. Really, most of our freeways, L.A., Orange County, Midland, are in pretty good shape, but there's a few exceptions. Now, both 710, for a change, it's really in good shape now, leaving the harbor all the way up to East L.A. and Commerce, all that, even the southbound side looking good. But be heads up, we do have one enormous problem going through Long Beach, and especially if you're in the harbor now and you want to go north 710 and then take the South 405, South 405, all lanes are shut down south of Lakewood. No return rig, it's a big deal. But again, all lanes are shut down. Using the East 91 over to the 605, Willow 7, they'll all get you to the 605, which will then take you to the South 405, and then know where you go. So quite a problem there. Northbound, there's a lot of spectators flowing. It's not quite as bad as it was a while ago, but still slow from the 605. Once you get past that, though, all the way up to LAX, things are looking good. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Ball, AFI in the sky.
The LA Kings were defeated by the Nashville Predators. The score 4-2. Kings continue to hover right around the middle of the Pacific Division. The Anaheim Ducks Detroit Red Wings match was over before it started. Postponed until Sunday after 4 more Anaheim players were added to the team's COVID protocols. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
Do you have coins, jewelry, or precious metals and are looking to sell for top dollar? Sil DiGenova, CEO and owner of Tangible Investments, has become legendary by beating his so-called competitors' offers on these items by as much as 500%.
I had a diamond ring that's been an heirloom in my family for many years, so I went to a local jewelry store and they offered me $600. I just wasn't comfortable. I took it down to Tangible Investments and they offered me over $6,000. That store is absolutely awesome.
Stories like these are why Tangible Investments has become America's top dealer in precious metals, jewelry, and collectibles, and why Sil has been featured on CNBC and quoted on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. Over the past 30 years, Tangible Investments has bought billions in collectibles. That's billions with a B. Right now, demand is through the roof. Sil encourages all his clients to shop the competition and then call in last. You'll be amazed at the difference. Guaranteed. Call now for an absolutely free, professional, no-obligation appraisal. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800. 800-711-2800.
Socal weather from KFI. Partly cloudy for your Friday with highs in the mid-50s to the upper 60s. Copy and paste that forecast for Saturday, and then a little bit warmer and more sunshine for Sunday. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. Checking things off of your DMV to-do list is now a lot faster because now the DMV has made it even easier to take care of tasks online. It all starts there. Maybe you need to get your vehicle registration renewed or transfer a title. You can get it all done online from the comfort of your couch. So if you have DMV tasks, save yourself some time and get them done online. dmv.ca.gov. Ready when you are.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today with 1-877 Cars for Kids. We're a recognized 501c3 charity organization, so you'll receive a maximum tax deduction. What's more, you'll receive a vacation voucher of 3 days and 2 nights. Also on the web at carsforkids.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
At Court Furniture Outlet, you'll find new looks and new savings on everything you need to brighten up your home or make your workplace more comfortable. And the best part is that it's all in stock and ready for immediate delivery, so no waiting. Now during Court Furniture Outlet's New Year, New Savings event, you'll save on a huge selection of upholstery, including new powered reclining sectionals, available in 2 colors, only $14.99. Italian leather sofas and sleepers, dining sets, bedroom sets, and mattresses, plus great deals on office furniture, like sit-to-stand desks from $3.99. And all year-end closeout deals have been extended. Come Come in today and discover why Court Furniture Outlet has been the secret destination of designers, home stagers, and business professionals for over 40 years. With locations in Glendale on Central, in Corona at the 91 and McKinley, and Fountain Valley on Euclid and the 405. Check them out on Yelp or go to CourtFurnitureOutlet.com. That's C-O-R-T FurnitureOutlet.com.
At Could call Jacob in the morning. Call Jacob.
Live and local.
Kfi Am 640.
An iHeart radio station.
KFI AM 640 handle here. A Friday, January 7th. And it's not as cold as it was. The Supreme Court today is hearing two cases, oral arguments start today, of insane implications. I mean, literally, how America runs itself is at stake. And that is the mandate, vaccine mandate by the president. But it goes so beyond that. It's whether Congress has the right or the duty to take back all of executive powers because it's, quote, legislation. Fascinating. We're talking about cabinet votes and regulation of stocks and all kinds of, for example, nuclear plants and the stock market. I mean, all of that. Fascinating. So we'll see which way the court goes. Now, there is one field. Well, let me tell you a story. This was in the LA Times. And it's about a lady named Cristina Velasquez. And she is a housekeeper and has been for 21 years. And she works at the Hilton Garden in Hollywood. And what happened, literally just a few months ago, and only a few months ago, and it continues to this day, but she goes in to cleans the room, and it smells like dead animals, and blood on the bed sheet, lots of blood, and then maggots and hypodermic needles. So she reports it to her manager, who says, just clean it up. That's what we need. Just clean it up, don't ask questions. And she said, wow. And she's not alone with this problem. The pandemic has added a lot of stress to our jobs. But man, when it comes to hotel housekeepers, already an occupation with very high injury rates, you wouldn't think that housekeepers are one of the most injured professions that exist. And they are. And why? I mean, come on, replacing sheets and replacing towels, running a vacuum cleaner. They're moving mattresses. They're picking up mattresses to change the sheets. Do that all day long. And see what it does to your back. So to reduce the risk of spreading the virus, what's happening is that the largest hotel chains, and also smaller ones, have adopted policies that make daily housekeeping optional. We're only going to come in and clean the place if you want us to. We'll only change the towels if you want us to. Otherwise, and you have to tell us, otherwise, we're not cleaning anything. Well, guess what? The rooms are now more cluttered, more filthy than ever. Fewer workers, facing shorter deadlines to get through the job throughout the day because the staffing has not increased. For example, the housekeepers, here's a stat that comes out of this story, 70% of housekeepers have been rehired, which leaves 30% that have not. Obviously, there's the math. The occupancy rate is at or more pre-pandemic levels, when there were 30% more housekeepers. And it's simply the hotel chains, because of what everybody went through, businesses, particularly in the leisure industry, what they went through is they figured they got to make up the money someplace, because a lot of hotels just closed down. They just shut down. They couldn't take it. Now, the big chains were doing fine, and the hotels, companies that own them, who have deep pockets, are doing okay. But there are a lot of mom and poppers out there. So what happens? The housekeeper comes in, and there's the fast food wrappers and dirty towels and take out food containers, spilled drinks on the floor. And in
more than one case, and this is more common than you would expect, feces smeared on bathroom walls. Now, I don't know why anybody does that. Is it a statement against society? Is it some kind of a TikTok challenge? But can you imagine a housekeeper walking into that and dealing with it? And what do you think housekeepers get paid? Well, if you're in California, you get paid $15 an hour. And here's what else is going on. There's a guy named Kurt Peterson, who is president of the union that represents 32,000 hospitality airport workers. And what he says that fewer housekeepers are now required to clean the same number of rooms and on the same deadlines as before. For example, in this story, Velasquez is supposed to clean 14 rooms a day. There are days when she only is able to clean 3 or 4 because it's such a god-awful mess in those rooms. And at least she isn't fired. And why is that? Because there aren't too many people that are willing to take housekeeping jobs because it has become a dangerous job as well as a disgusting job. So what does a housekeeper do for those asking or being asked to clean 14 rooms? And this is one day that the LA Times followed this woman. Changing the bedding, and this is lifting up mattresses to remove sheets as well as putting new sheets on, cleaning, disinfecting the bathroom, dusting, replacing the towels, vacuuming the carpet, mopping the tile and hardwood floors. And if you look at the math, including a 30-minute lunch for break, she gets 32 minutes of time per room. So on this day, it took her 45 minutes to clean the first room. Piles of towels and littered the bathroom, trash thrown around the room, and she was already behind schedule. Second room, cleaner, because they do what I do at the hotels. I actually keep it fairly clean. And I also tip the housekeepers too. You leave the money, and here's the tip. You leave the money on the bed sheet or on the pillow, and you do it every day. Because if you leave it at the end of the stay and a shift has changed, then you've left a pile of money with someone who's only been there a quarter of the time. So it's a daily thing as far as I'm concerned. And so the third room took almost 2 hours to complete cleaning. The fourth room took an hour. Remember, she has 32 minutes. And the pressure is unbelievable. This is a story of the COVID where people are, and I would argue affected the most other than people who lost their jobs. But it's this is a rough business. It's gotten a lot rougher. And you normally don't think of housekeepers. I mean, they're sort of back of mind. All you do is walk in the room and it's clean. Man, I feel terrible for these people. Rough, dangerous, horrific job. Just wanted to share a COVID story with you on that one. There is a lawsuit going on by a cop against the department and against the company that sells guns at the academy. And this is a very strange lawsuit. And this is one where it's not it is not your normal lawsuit involving police. This is not police misconduct, excessive force. It's just a weird one. And I'll share that story with you when we come back. This is KFI AM 640, and let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee.
California's nonprofits that took part in or helped in last year's insurrection at the U.S. Capitol could lose their tax-exempt status because of a new bill that was introduced yesterday, which would suspend tax breaks for those who fundraised or sent money to groups involved in the attack. The 3 white men convicted of killing Ahmaud Arbery are being sentenced in Georgia. He was the black man who was caught jogging in February 2020, and the LA City Council will consider installing a gate to temporarily close the historic beach road in Hollywood Hills until repairs are made. We've got your drive with KFI in the sky and the 110 next.
Okay, the 2021 resolution is to be one time.
Whoop, only 30 to go. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morocco. Number 5.
Playoff time. With a little long and big sidewalk, college approach, there's only one place to go. That's Morocco.
Number 4.
Date of Fame live January 14th. Get your tickets now.
3.
Party Tip Fridays. All players at your table can win up to $100 in promo tips from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. Now that's the party.
And the number 2.
Cozy Gift Giveaway. Get 2 fluffy pillows when you earn 500 points on your report card, the 10th or the 11th.
And the number 1 reason.
We don't mess with the recipes at Wahlburgers. Mark, Stanley, and Chef Paul won't stand for it. It's the blended business.
Morongo Casino Resort Bar. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Morongo. Good time!
Yeah, crap.
Attention thrifters. Those awesome finds you get at Goodwill are even awesomer than you realize. Because as a nonprofit, Goodwill uses your purchases to fund job training and more in our neighborhoods. Learn more at goodwill.org. Sponsored by the Ad Council.
Socal Weather from KFI, partly cloudy today with highs from the mid-50s to the upper 60s. This report is brought to you by the Ad Council. From the Southern California Toyota dealers traffic center, let's go places. We're checking the 110.
Yes, indeed. Most of the base is covered in the marine layer now. But the northbound 110, the Harbor Freeway section of the 110, if you will, from the 105, South LA, all that, it's really not all that bad. There's not as usual. It's going about Florence in downtown Los Angeles, but I think you'll be okay. North 101 has a few problems. Northbound before the floor level, almost right outside City Hall, got a lane block there. It's really slowing down that North 101, West 10 merge going towards the floor level. But after that, you'll be okay. But then another heads up as you head towards the Coinga Pass, North 101. A whole bunch of stuff on that ramp. That's a little slow getting through. But definitely the problem of the morning if you're just going through Long Beach, South 405, we shut down south of Lakewood, overturn Reg, it's a mess. Eastbound 91, eastbound Willow, eastbound 7, any of those will get you over towards the 605 and let you hook up with the South 405 in towards Orange County. Much better deal. Edward International, this is superwoman.superlawyer.com. Jeff KFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by iAccidentLawyer.com.
Training alert! It's for 5 years and for motorcyclists suffering severe injury to legs.
Attorney Robert Koenig Esquire, results may vary. No guarantee. Automobile fail to yield in daytime accident.
If you're suffering from stabbing pain, numbness, cramping, tingling, or burning in your feet, legs, or hands, you may be experiencing neuropathy. Neuropathy is caused by damage to nerves, and it impacts the lives of millions of Americans. If you are suffering from neuropathy and have been prescribed medication like Lyrica, Neurontin, or gabapentin, there may be an alternative. Highly trained doctors are using a cutting-edge treatment to slow and often reverse the disease without addictive medication. If you're tired of living in pain, then call 855-4-GET-WELL. That's 855, the number 4, get well. There's no surgery or prescription drugs. Don't wait to get relief. Call 855, the number 4, get well. That's 855-4-GET-WELL. The first 25 callers will receive a full exam and in-depth consultation absolutely free.
As COVID-19 vaccination efforts continue across the country, many people wonder if the vaccines are effective against the Omicron variant. We asked Dr. Francis Collins, director of the National Institutes of Health, how booster shots can protect us.
The booster not only increases the quantity of antibodies, but also their quality, that they are really much broader in their ability to bind to variants than the original vaccine might have provided. There's all kinds of reasons to do this to protect yourself. And that's really good news, in fact, that the booster has that property. Based on what we've seen with all the other variants, the booster should be really valuable, so go and get one.
That was Dr. Francis Collins, director of the National Institutes of Health. iHeartRadio will continue to keep you informed with the latest coronavirus news. For continuous updates and to find a COVID-19 vaccine near you, check out vaccines.gov.
Do you need a new water heater? Water Heaters Only, with over 53 years in business, offers low prices, quality same-day service, and 0% deferred interest financing. Visit waterheatersonly.com. That's waterheatersonly.com. Terms and conditions apply.
With school back in session, there's plenty to worry about. Cal Hope can help with free COVID-19 emotional support. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed effortlessly adjusts in response to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save up to $1,000 on Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed, plus special financing. Ends Monday. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
We've weathered this pandemic by doing our part to protect each other. So let's stick to what's proven to keep us safer from COVID-19 and its variants, like masking up in public indoor settings, getting tested before and after traveling and gathering, and staying home if you feel sick. Let's keep our immunity strong. Visit myturn.ca.gov or call 833-422-4255 to find a vaccine or booster near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
I don't think they're stupid. No. I think they know if they write it ambiguously, then yeah, they got a 50-50 shot in court of actually getting their way and releasing almost everybody, which is ultimately what they want. There's a lot of dangerous people left in these prisons, so they're going to have to be creative and probably basically lie to the voters. Garner to get an opposition passed to release more of them.
Weekdays at 2 on KFI.
Oh, seriously.
AM 640. It is a Friday morning, January 7th, and it's usually Fridays we have a little bit of fun. So I've got a couple of fun topics that I'm going to share with you. And one of them is about hobbies, the history of hobbies. And there is a history and how it has changed over the years here in the United States. I found this fascinating. And then Foodie Friday comes aboard with meals of 8 at 9:30. That's usually our Friday lineup. I want to go through a lawsuit. This is really interesting. This is a captain at the LAPD who is suing the LAPD. And it's not a discrimination suit per se. It's not your usual lawsuit, but it's unusual enough that I wanted to share it with you. Because depending on which way it goes, this may very well become fairly big news. Captain Jonathan Tom, commanding officer of the West LA Division of LAPD, has filed a lawsuit with his wife, who is a retired LAPD officer, and she raises the kids. And he argues that the LAPD, in addition to a nonprofit, which I'll explain in a minute, that they ruined his personal and professional reputation, his career prospects are now dimmed, investigators ignore evidence that he was a victim of this crime and not a suspect, and he says they pursued him as a suspect, and of course the normal humiliation, emotional distress, substantial financial losses without justification, nightmares, and never be able to get in an elevator again. I mean, all of that. And it has to do with a bunch of cases brought by the police department. And they were brought by officers of the police department say they were damaged by a gun scandal and the way the department investigated it. So what's it about? Well, first of all of these cases have been consolidated because the defendants are all the same. And the city has to figure, okay, how much are we going to pay this if we lose? They're claiming, the city, that the entire blame rests with an entity called the LA Police Revolver and Assault Squad. It's a non-profit that has a gun store at the academy. The city has maintained this relationship for more than 85 years. So, November 29, 2021, a theft of 44 firearms from the gun store. It's problematic, especially under these circumstances when it's free. And the lawsuit says the city alleged that
The non-profit failed to oversee its employees and maintain proper security because it turned out that the main culprit, someone who pled guilty, was the and they accused him of stealing the guns and selling them off to violence, which he did. 11 of the fires were LAPD officers.
That is a very drug. This was
this probably is safe. And police officers, many of them collect guns. I mean, they're just into a lot of weapons. And they sell guns to each other. And they're just into the gun culture.